Okay, let's bring the village board meeting March 11th, 2024 to order. And I need a roll call.
Anastasio,
Here.
Venturini,
Here.
Washburn,
Here.
Doxy,
Here.
DeGroot.
He's here. Next item, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
So the next item is public comment. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments on any matter. Please listen for the president to recognize you. State your name and address for the public record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. I have a number of folks signed up for South Green Bay Road zoning. To my knowledge, there's nothing on the agenda regarding that tonight, but certainly feel free to speak about it. So can I hear from Chad McGraw?
Chad McGraw, 3919 Old Green Bay Road. I just wanted to voice my concern about this project. Our house is directly across from the fire department on Old Green Bay Road. The highest zoning is around our property as it's currently designed or proposed. This is going to negatively affect our property value. It's going to affect our peace and quiet. Our quality of life will be affected. I have a number of other concerns, but there's not enough time here to cover them. So I'll send that out in a separate email, but I just wanted to say that I am against this development the way it's currently designed. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mike Janowski? Yeah, Jaworski. You.
Mr. President, back here. Just
Sure.
a note to any of the neighbors, I'll hang out in the community room across the hall after public comment if anyone wants to stop by and talk or ask future other questions or anything too. So
Thanks, Sam.
Mike Jaworski, 5951 Regency Hills, Mount Pleasant. I too wanted to just come back. My wife and I, and well, the whole room was here a month ago when it was on the agenda. I'm not sure where I can ever see the public agenda prior to the meeting. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but I just wanted to come in here with some regular cadence, just to let the board know that I and my wife and most of our neighbors are really against rezoning outside of the ag, unless it became truly all single-family homes with the same size and lots that are currently in that vicinity and neighborhood. I know some of the board members last time expressed their concern or expertise that that's not how America is anymore, that it's all going to become rental, everything's going to become higher density. To me, that is what the large urban areas are. And as you can see what's happening in America, high density equals a lot of other things that negatively affect people and their net worths and their value. So I'm just, personally, I want to see single family homes at best with the same density that currently exists in the Regency Hills subdivision. Thank you.
Ann Zog?
Hello, Ann Zog. I live at 3930 Royal Oaks Drive, and I too was here with my neighbors in January for the meeting. Thank you for letting us speak again. A couple other neighbors will address in more detail a meeting they had with a developer who has led us to believe that this was on the agenda today. Just want you to know, makes me question integrity when that kind of stuff happens. I understand the land's going to be developed, and I think that's probably a positive for Mount Pleasant. But as someone that's lived there since 2001, raised my family there, and many of us have done the same, I'm disappointed in the village in that I didn't know much about it until December. And I want you to do better. I think you owe us that as the constituents. So just some food for thought in your own conduct. I should have known before December of 2023 that this much effort had gone into the development, because I would have been involved. I understand that the density has to be reduced. I'm supportive of what my neighbor, Mr. Jaworski, said. It sounds like the developer is not going to put in basements, just so you know, and they will still be rental single-family homes. I don't know anybody that can afford to pay $3,000 or $4,000 a month rent for a home. I couldn't, and I have a pretty good job and have done pretty well in life. And I think the final biggest concern I have, my husband and I do, is the safety in our neighborhood. Regency Hills, and you live on it, I walk it every day. People are flying by there, 40, 50 miles per hour. I sometimes wave to get their attention to slow them down. There are many small children that ride their bikes. Someone's going to get hit and hurt or killed, and then we'll do something, right? Well, I think we need to be proactive. So as you are looking at the development, the onus is on us now, while we can prevent things, to do a better job of making sure our neighborhood, today it's not safe enough. The speeds traveled are too fast, and I've been told that we can't put speed bumps or more stop signs because it's inconvenient for snow removal and emergency vehicles. Yet the research I've done in places like Wauwatosa, Brookfield, New Berlin, et cetera, they all utilize those safety devices. So I'm going to ask you to dig deeper and see if there's opportunity to make my neighborhood safer. Thank you.
Police chief is also at the back of the room, and he can have a conversation with you too after, as we get going. Administrator wanted to just add a few words.
And they can put in calming devices, other ways of doing that. We've done that before on some heavily traveled areas where we can put out speed monitor and speed enforcement units, right? Matt is nodding yes. So also would like to send one of these home with all of you. This is a way to sign up to get the agendas emailed to you. You can go right to our website, set up an account. You can get any agendas emailed, Planning Commission, Village Board. If there's a committee you wish to serve on, this is the gentleman that makes the appointments. Get involved in your government. It sounds like you're motivated. This is a great time to talk to him. This Village Board confirms those appointments, and believe you me, it's nice to see you here, but we'd like you smiling. Honestly, all of us would. So I have some of these handouts. If you go meet with our community development director afterwards in that meeting, he's got some too. Take them with you. It's really easy. I have an account set up too, so that I know what all of the agendas are. We have lots of different kinds of committees, so please do that. I'm going to hand some of these out.
Sure. Okay, let's hear from Deborah Hickey.
Hello, I'm Deborah Hickey, or Debbie Hickey, 5425 Wakefield Ave, Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. I am on the other end of the neighborhood. Earlier today, I did send you guys an email because I know my letter is definitely going to take me longer than 3 minutes to read. So I hope you guys do take the time to read my email. In addition, I did create another Google form with all the neighbors, and I created the questions for you guys to see those, and then I attached all their comments, suggestions, concerns, so that way I hope you guys take time to read those and really hear what we're asking for in our neighborhood. Some of the neighbors we were able to meet with the builder after the last meeting in January, and he did decrease, based on what he showed us, the number of houses. And he was in that meeting very adamant that he was going to be here today and wanted to have collaboration with our neighborhood and with you guys. So it is concerning that he has not followed through with anything on his end. In addition to, at that meeting, we did voice some concerns about the basement, the flooding that happens in that farm field, still the number of houses that are going to be on that small plot of 34 acres of land. I just hope that you guys take time to read my letter, hear the rest of the neighborhood, and I hope you guys work with us to hear what we're asking for and what we're looking for our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. That collaboration meeting would be something other than a board meeting, I mean, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Ken Roach.
Hi, Ken Roach, 6027 Biscayne Ave in Mount Pleasant. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm on the same issue as everybody else here. I'm opposed to the relatively high density. My property on Biscayne would back right into the area where the townhouses are going. When we were here in January, the discussion was all about the density of housing going in there. And the discussion at that time basically centered around reducing the density that had been proposed for the area. Well, it looks like it's been done on a good chunk of the proposed development, but not on the part that's of greatest interest to me personally, because like I say, I basically back onto that area that's still proposed for townhouses. So I just wanted to come in here and again voice my concern about the high development or the high density development being proposed to go basically right into my backyard. So I just wanted to add my voice to the chorus you're hearing tonight. So thank you.
Connie Ziccarelli, I'll give you the last word.
I'll bring up the train. Thank you, President. My name is Connie Ziccarelli, 3840 Royal Oaks Drive, 53406. And I was the one, well, to back up, we were here in January for the public opinion, and thank goodness we did. We're here because we would not be sitting here. It would all been done that evening if we didn't get involved. So after the meeting, the developer reached out to me because I was pretty vocal, and he asked for my email. So we set up a time to meet, and he said just have a few people come. He didn't want a large group. So I orchestrated us to meet at Dunkin' Donuts in Sturtevant, and there was like 10 of us there. And he outlined everything. He was very adamant that 3/11 was the day that we would all get together and we would hear him pitch it to you guys or to some committee. My request now, or where I'm struggling with my government, my village government, is I'm finding out there are so many hands in the pot when something like this needs to happen. You've got your strategic plan people, you've got your field people, you got your surveyors, you got everything. If there could be a way that we could find out what are the steps necessary for somebody to take if they want to develop property that is agriculture, that now they want to change and move to something residential or commercial. I would love to know all the people in my government that have to put their hands on these kind of plans. Because those are the people that we need to be talking to and huddling with before we even get to you. You guys are like the top pin. I want to get down here and figure out who do we need to talk to down here. So if somebody could point me in that direction, I will surely take the wheel. But right now, if we don't stay strong, they're going to bring stuff to you, whoever these people will, to you, and then you'll vote yay or nay. Again, if we wouldn't have stand true a month ago, this would have all been settled. So I would really like to know how to work in my government and who in Mount Pleasant I would work with so that these things could be alleviated or be discussed long before it gets to a public hearing. Second thing is point me in the direction for the Mount Pleasant strategic plan. I would love to know where my voting, if I vote for you all, I want to know what you guys think about where this community needs to go. Because if this is a little microcosm over Mount Pleasant's going to go and get highly intensely urbanized, then I don't know if Mount Pleasant is the place to stay. So I would love to know where your strategic plan is and who I need to talk to get a copy of that. Thank you.
Well, as for the second thing first,
Also on our website. The strategic plan is right on our website. Yep, it's all right there. And the person that you need to speak to is the gentleman who offered to meet with you in Community Room 2. He's our Community Development Director. Anyone purchasing a property will talk to Sam Schultz is his name. That's the first person that they deal with, Sam or someone within his department, for the entire village.
Sam can share that process that you were referring to with you, and he'll be happy to meet with you over in community room 2, is that, across the way there?
And there's 2 committees you're going to want to keep an eye on if you're interested in development. They're the Planning Commission and this village board. And structurally, Sam reports to the village administrator. That's me. And I report to the village board.
Right, but everyone should understand that I think where you're going with this is if you talk to people early enough in the process, it'll never get to the Plan Commission or the village board. That's not the case. Sam does not have the power to stop someone applying for a rezone.
Yes.
And that person has the right to get it heard before those bodies and get it voted upon.
He's
whether
the
it's a
village
yes or
attorney.
no.
And that's true too. Anyone buying a property, just if you bought a property, you would have a right to work with your government and have your needs met.
Right, you deserve a vote, and so does this developer. It might be a no vote, but I just want to manage everyone's expectations. Just because you have Sam's name, he can't just like tell this person, sorry, you don't get to apply. You know, everyone gets to apply. They don't have the right to an approval, but they do get to apply. And then if that happens, of course, public hearing notices will go out, they'll be published in the newspaper, it'll be on our website. If you sign up, like the administrator says, it'll get sent right to your email, and then, you know, the votes occur.
The process actually worked
Right.
the last time. You all did a fantastic job. That is how the process works. Yeah.
I have nobody else signed up for public comment. Anybody else wishing to that hasn't signed up? If not, we're going to move on with the rest of our meeting. And as mentioned, Chief will be happy to meet with you as well as Sam right across the hallway. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the consent agenda, motion for approval.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to adopt the items on the consent agenda, letter F.
Second?
So I hear a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that motion carries. So let's move on to new business. We've got a number of budget resolutions that we heard about not too long ago. Well, these ones were from a couple of weeks ago, weren't they? Budget Resolution 5-24, motion, please.
Mr. President, I move to I make a motion to approve Budget Resolution 5-2024 to provide $12 million for the Wisconsin Way Utilities Project.
Second?
So I hear a motion and a second. Claude, is that something that you can just touch on real quick?
Yeah, again, this is just part of our closing documents we had with Microsoft Development is just to finish some utilities along Wisconsin Valley Way. This is the $12 million that set that money aside to do that.
And we discussed this 2 weeks ago, right?
Right, that was in at the COW meeting 2 weeks ago. So that's for our approval today. Roll call, please.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot,
Aye, motion carries. Resolution 6-2024.
I make a motion to approve Budget Resolution 6-2024 to reflect 2023 encumbrances in the 2024 budget.
Second?
Motion and a second. And again, this was discussed at some length as well. Is there anything that you wanted to add, Tammy?
Nothing to add. All it is taking items that had been approved in '23 that the purchases have not been completely either finished, billed, what have you, and bringing them into '24. This one deals with non-TID The next one deals with TID.
Thank you. So for the non-TID, Resolution 6-2024, roll call, please.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot,
Aye, motion carries. So then item C, Resolution 7-2024.
I make a motion to approve Budget Resolution 7-2024 to carry over TID funds for incomplete 2023 projects to the 2024 budgets. Second.
So I hear a motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding that?
No.
As heard 2 weeks ago. Do you?
Just as I was sitting here and noticing, we have 2 absences today. I think we have to carry these all over to the next meeting because you need a 2/3 vote to pass a budget amendment.
Which is 5.
Yeah, 5.
2/3 is 5, I think it's 6, it's 5.25. Yeah.
Yeah.
2/3, yeah, but 2/3 of 7 is 5 1/4,
Yeah.
so you need 6. I did the math on my calculator.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think on these, we'll just carry it over and hope we have 6 members and vote on them.
so are these just non-votes then?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Make sure that the clerk understands that then.
Yeah, it's fine. I
Okay.
will. We'll reflect that in the minutes.
Okay, so that means item D is,
No, we had our
What?
finance director, Jeff.
What? Oh, yeah, so 5 is good.
5.
What calculator were you using?
Hey, give him a break.
before.
He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's not an accountant.
I've said
told
it,
us he
I've
doesn't
said it
understand
before, and I'll
numbers,
say it
and
again.
he's demonstrated
I
that.
went to law school because there were no math classes.
No, it's 5.
Now, I did put her on the spot, but Tammy was like, oh yeah, Chris, you're right.
But no, that's because there are 8 members on the South Milwaukee Common Council, and they have different rules, and a mayor. So this is a village board with 7 members.
So is Tammy right?
Yeah, 66, what is it again?
2/3 of 7 is 4.5 something, so it's 5
We're
members.
good, 5.
Okay.
I multiplied 7 by 0.75 for some reason. Yeah,
That's a quarter.
Law
Three
school
quarters.
was,
right.
law school was a good choice, Chris.
Yep. All right, good.
Okay, so we're straightened out now, Mr. The President. motion is made and seconded, I believe.
Yeah, Jill, are we on item G2C?
TID carryover.
I think the clerk
To
should
carry
note,
over.
I think the clerk should note that the lawyer was wrong.
Yep. Hey, but I'd rather bring it up and be
And-
wrong.
I want to see it in the minutes, or I will not approve them.
And he's no mathematician either.
Our village attorney is the risk manager, so he was just making sure.
Making
Yeah, he was
sure.
protecting us. He was
That's all he was
definitely
doing.
protecting us.
So my understanding then is that we have a open motion, and that on item C that needs to be voted yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, let's just do that.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye.
I was gonna say, I hope.
Yeah, you needed my vote.
I'd have a little humor. It's been a
A
long.
little
been a
effort
long
to
year.
get at the board meeting. Resolution 11-2024.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 11-2024, amending, to provide funding to assist with the police chief recruitment and selection process. I'll second that.
It should be noted that we need 5 votes to get to a 2/3 majority on this.
So unanimous it needs to be, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Tonight only. And that's for the police chief recruitment that we discussed a little bit earlier. So I'll call the vote.
Anastasio,
Aye.
Venturini,
Aye.
Washburn,
Aye.
Doxy,
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye. Motion carries. Public safety, fire truck.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to enter into a purchase agreement with Fire Service Incorporated for the purchase of a fire truck to be delivered in 2026, hopefully.
Second.
Motion and a second. This is something that we discussed at the COW meeting just beforehand. Long and the short of it is that prices are going up. We can lock it in. The provider has been gracious enough to give us enough time to get it to the board meeting so we can approve it.
It's a pretty sad, just under discussion, it's a sad commentary in terms of it takes 2 years, 3 years almost, 3 years to get a fire engine. The prices are going up before our eyes. Supply chain still is, and labor pool for that quality of work is still very low, and it's a shame. But I'm glad we're being proactive in getting the order in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's issue getting
Thinking ahead,
there's
thinking ahead.
issues getting the chassis, issues getting all the build-out materials. It's just, it's a long process. So on that, do I need a roll call or a voice work on that?
You can do a voice vote.
Let's just do the voice vote on that. Regarding the fire truck purchase agreement, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that motion carries. So from here, I'll call for a motion to go into closed session, and for those that are paying attention otherwise, we'll go into the closed session, and then we are going to adjourn the meeting because there won't be any other business in front of us. So we will adjourn the meeting right in closed session. So just so that everybody knows how the rest of the meeting is going to go. Motion, please.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 19.85, parens 1, parens F, to consider financial, medical, social, or personal histories of specific persons, which, if discussed in public, would be likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data, and Wisconsin Statute 19.85, parens 1, parens C, to consider employment, promotion, compensation of a public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically to discuss potential staffing needs within the village finance department.
Second.
So I hear a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Anastasio.
Aye.
Venturini.
Aye.
Washburn.
Aye.
Doxy.
Aye.
DeGroot.
Aye. Motion carries. The village is in closed session.